Former Busosa CEO Angelo Agrizi's appeal bail application at the Johannesburg High Court has been successful. Judge Ratam Khatana had a scathing remark for the lower courts and the magistrates in the Palm Ridge Magistrates Court, Philip Venter. Judge Rata says the magistrate erred in his judgment.
The magistrate did not fulfill his legal obligations in that he did not properly apply his discretion, and consequently the court is at large to revisit the question whether these facts justify the granting of bail.
The success of the bail application has come at a high cost for Angelo Agrizi. He has to hand over the title deed of his expensive villa in Italy to the tune of 18 million rands to the state.
The appellant is granted bail equal to the full value of the appellant's property at the time that property was purchased. And that property is located at Castel del Piano in Italy.
Investigating Directorate spokesperson Sidisiwe Twala says they're ecstatic that these assets that Angelo Agrizi has hidden in Italy will fall into the hands of the state in the interim.
So there are various time frames in which the judge has actually handed down. He mentioned that his passports must be handed by the 3rd of November. By the 10th of November, we're expecting that that particular title deed, as well as his property and that of his common law wife, will be disclosed within that time frame. And another thing that we should mention, that failure to disclose all of this, and if we and various other persons find out that there's stuff that he has not disclosed, unfortunately, his bail will be revoked within 48 hours.
Agrizi's legal team says they are happy that their client is now out on bail, as the lower court erred in their judgment in denying Agrizi bail.
The state requested some form of security in order to secure his bail, and after negotiations, the property in Italy, or at least the value of the property, was put up as security as a bail amount at the time that it was purchased and the current rand value. And Mr. Agrizi will give a guarantee that should he evade his trial or should his bail be revoked, then the National Prosecuting Authority would inherit the house in Italy.
Judge Rata Mokhatleng says the lower court in Magistrate Philip Venter erred in its judgment that Angelo Agrizi would abscond and evade justice in South Africa without any particular merits to that judgment. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Johannesburg.
If you weren't around tomorrow, could your family keep going? Get 4 million Rand life cover from just 535 Rand per month with Momentum Life.
Well, 18 million Rand bail. Wow. Hello, News for Sure. Hello, good people. We are here. It's a good Sunday. I just wanted us to do just an analysis. I wanted us to actually go back and see what has been happening in South Africa. The reason why we are doing this analysis, it's because of the Senzomewa case. It is because of the recent development within the Senzomewa case, where we had seen that the judge has clearly been very biased towards the state. And the judge is doing everything that he can to defend the state. So we've seen an incident where he told the advocate minister to shut up. Now, it took me time to go back and see who is Judge Rata, basically, in terms of law. Now, we will be wrong if we will actually undermine or underestimate Judge Rata's qualifications. We will be wrong if we were to underestimate Judge Rata's understanding of law. Maybe his brains or his knowledge of law is actually being used. I don't believe that he's using it. This is purely my opinion. I don't believe that he's using it rightly and fairly so. I think at all times, Rata will use law to make what something that we see as community as wrong, to make it right by the use of law. So that is very dangerous, guys. That is very dangerous. So if you were to underestimate Rata on that, then you will be missing the boat. just a disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not doing a legal analysis here. I'm just doing an evidence analysis based on the information that we had. I am following Senzo Mewa case. We had seen in recent days where the state, which is in a form of the prosecutor, have keep on altering record, putting information that does not exist, and they make it exist. And the judge is also being seen as adding in that information. So we're confused whether is Rata old, maybe suffering from some form of dementia or what? No, I don't think so. I think Judge Rata is a true soccer player. He's dribbling us in front of, he's dribbling us, he's dribbling the country, he's dribbling the court. Now, the problem that people are missing now, that you see that there is a huge tug of war between Rata and Mnisi. Both of those lawyers, they are lawyers by profession. They are both players, soccer players as well. So they all played for Soweto big teams. Basically, Rata played for Orlando Pirates, and where else Mnisi also played for Swallows. Now you can see that there's the biggest derby in Soweto was Orlando Pirates and Swallows, basically, over years when the people, the soccer historians that will tell us that was the biggest derby. Now, what we're seeing in court, are we seeing a replication of a derby that is fought using law? Because you can clearly see that Advocate Mnisi is really hurtful. He cannot take any of these things with the dribbling of the judge. So if I look at Mnisi's height, I'm thinking that he was a defender. We all know that Rata was a midfielder. He's a supplier, he's a general there. Now, if you see a defender and a midfielder, they always I always don't see eye to eye because the other one is defending. So in this instance, Mnisi is defending his clients, which is accused number 1 as well as accused number 3. Now we're seeing the judge is supposed to be referee here. But now we're seeing the judge that is dribbling everybody in. We confuse that if the referee is the ball comes towards the referee is supposed to be dodging the ball. But in this instance, when the ball comes, we see the referee just like the judge like tapping the ball on his chest and calling it down, and then look around and see where is he going to pass. But we've always seen that whenever he's passing the ball, he always passes it towards Baloyi. Is Baloyi the favorite player in that field in Rata's court? Is Sibanda also the secondary player that is being supported, or the state? No, it becomes very heavy. Now, the question that I want us as News for Sure that we need to analyze, whether Agrizi or no Agrizi, I've played you a clip where Rata presided on the matter of Agrizi. Agrizi matter is, I've not heard anything before, but people, please tell me if there's some other bail conditions that are actually more than this. Clearly, Agrizi paid over 18 million rand bail. And we since know that Agrizi has pleaded guilty on some charges. I'm not sure what was taken because the state wanted to recover what they call it 1.8 billion rand. Whether will it be that all Agrizi's assets were also attached? I don't know. But what we're talking about is a 18 million rand bail. What? Now, how can be a bail condition? Like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but it just puzzled me. How can South African bail condition be imposed on another property that is outside another country? I don't know. But you see, with Rata's court, Rata makes laws. He has a right to make laws, yes, within the confines of the law. And unfortunately, all the things that Rata does, it has never come back at SCA. Even SCA, they agree with his decision. So I'm saying that when it comes to legal minds and the experience, we will be wrong if we were to undermine Rata's legal capabilities. So all that I'm saying to us is that, unfortunately, the defense team is faced with a very eloquent and a very sneaky judge, basically. I'm saying this thing that is very sneaky because he will use laws, he will use all the avenues that are available to defend the state. It will use everything that is possible. The Senzo Mewa case is obvious. I mean, the judgment of the 174, it is obvious. So therefore, there is no way that we can keep quiet. Now, the silence of the judges matters and all people who are higher up that they don't want to comment on Rata, it's very deafening. It's very, that silence, basically, it's very worrisome. I mean, I was just looking on the news. In Durban, the media was able to get a comment from a former Deputy Chief Justice. DCJ was saying that no, Patlana or that judge that has been arrested must step aside silently. But why the media did not get an opinion on former Deputy Chief Justice on right? Because we know that they are close. But the media have never asked him for that. Why the media did not ask him a comment on the allegation from the Atlanta Commission? You know what? You see, that is why if you were to undermine or to not to think serious about Rata's capability and the influence that Rata enjoys within the legal fraternity, you will be wrong, guys. So let me tell you what. This issue of that Rata is suffering from dementia, is doing things. I think this thing of throwing wrong names. You see, a midfielder will deceive people to just think that, that ball is going to pass, where else it's just going to sneak in and strike the ball in. So all my analysis today is, let's look at Rata charging Agrizi over 18 million rand bail. Let's look at Rata being an excellent jurist, whether you like it or not. His legal capabilities, guys, is dribbling us. So all I'm saying is that the fact that now all he's wrong is doing it on public, on a national TV, and people who have powers are quiet about his behavior. Because if he's allowed to write judgment, I tell you what, he knows very well that the judgment will not be appealable. This is Rata, R-A-T-H, a soccer player. You don't just become a first player, in a first team player in a Pirate if you're not smart. Not just anything. That guy had talent and he had glasses on. He played soccer with his glasses. After that, he went on and studied law. And after that, PSL, he found a lot of things that he complained about, even Black Lawyers Association. So I'm saying that as much as we are not happy with his attitude towards the Mewa case, but we're saying to him that, Rata, for us to remind you, we're pleading with you. Use your law correctly to arrest the people who have fabricated evidence that has come before you. Use the law correctly to make sure that the prosecutors that have lied in front of you, that are sentenced correctly. Use that law, Judge Rata, that the police officers that have wrongly investigated the case and bring that evidence before you. Show South Africans that you are the master. You are the midfielder. You are the general. You are the true pastor. You are the controller. The Mewa family is looking at you as a judge. Is looking at you that you will be fair. Is looking at you that you will distribute all the human rights that you made sure that when you were releasing Agrizi for 18 million bail. Agrizi, remember, Rata, Agrizi is the person that stole taxpayers' money. Grizi is a convicted fraudster now. Grizi is a person that was unashamedly with the videos where he was throwing racial slur remarks in his own personal home. Grizi is a person that was, whenever he was handing over money to black people, he will write them on the book just to show them that black people are not anything bigger than the chickens. But you let them free. You made him pay 18 million rand. All that now we're saying, Chatrat, I know you're not suffering from damage. You are not suffering from damage. I have tried to see and listen and follow you. This wrong information, you want people to throw their cards down. I'm pleading with you, Chashrata. I'm pleading with you, sir. South Africa needs the truth. The Mayor family needs justice. We're looking at you. I thank you.